So, what is up, guys? Loser Maniac here, and I wanted to make a real quick video talking about this because this is the funniest shit ever. So, as I'm recording this, my hot takes on Fallout 4 is just released. It's been out for about, as I'm recording this, it's been uploaded 6 minutes ago. Already has 2 views, and I'm pretty sure one of these views is the person I'm talking about. So the person I'm talking about has been commenting on like my random Fallout 4 videos. Like for the, I think my previous one and the previous one before was just him commenting about his hatred to the railroad. It's the funniest shit ever because in the video I talk about like my personal hot takes and how like one of them is that I think that the railroad doesn't I get the hate, but personally I just think they're a good faction. And I'm not to say that like they're the best faction of them all. I'm just saying I just like the railroad. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're the best faction. I'm just saying of the other factions, I like the railroad the best. And so this dude would, or female or whoever, this person would just comment on the video talking about how terrible the railroad is and how better the Brotherhood of Steel are. And personally, I don't care. This is my message to this person. I don't care what you believe, alright? If you want to believe that the railroad is the worst faction than Caesar's Legion themselves, go right on ahead. The point is, it's just, I'm just saying I like the railroad because of the fact that they are morally good. They are morally the middleman. And I love middlemen. That sounds entirely different. That sounded better in my head. But the point is like, just because I like a faction doesn't mean that, or just because like hardly anyone likes a faction doesn't mean they're the worst. But I just like the rail. That's all I'm getting at. And this person is just commenting that the railroad is the worst faction ever in the product, just out of nowhere. Like, to give context, the only time the railroad is mentioned in this video, in the previous video, my hot takes, is maybe 10 or so minutes into this video. Keep in mind, if you watch the video from beginning to end, by the time I started recording this, you would not have, I've never even mentioned the railroad. And it's just funny to see this dude commenting about how the railroad is the worst faction ever. And I'm not laughing because he's wrong. I'm just laughing because it's so out of nowhere. Like, why is this person just stalking my channel? Keep in mind, he doesn't talk about... Keep in mind, here's what he doesn't do this with like Mass Effect videos, but I'm pretty sure if he was that type of person, if there's a Mass Effect type of person, it would be how much they hate Miranda. Which is understandable, which I clearly understand entirely, but the point is that this person's just stalking, I have a feeling this person's just stalking my channel, and it's like, Fallout 4 video, I must comment how the railroad's a terrible faction. It's the most ridiculous thing ever, and I might make more Fallout 4 videos, not even mentioning the railroad or factions, or I guess just making a build, not even talking about the railroad once, nothing related to the railroad, no ballistic weave or nothing. Just the fact that this is a build or whatever, or my favorite gun, and how it's the combat knife, because it is the most useless weapon ever. And I guarantee, like, no hints of the railroad mentioned at all. And I guarantee you, this person would say railroad is bad, Brotherhood good. Now, the reason why, and I know the reason why they're doing it, or the reason why they commentate, is because it's my icon. The reason why so I'm gonna lay this to rest one last time. I'm gonna say this once, and I'm gonna lay it to rest. I'll probably change the icon, because if I'm honest, like, the time that I got the icon, that my logo icon, before I did that, it was just D.Va from Overwatch, and I have not played Overwatch at all. I haven't touched the game, I haven't bought the game. I rarely watch people play it. unless it's like in the background of a commentary video, like an Optimus video. Other than that, I don't really have any interest in the game outside of like the Rule 34 stuff. But that's just my own personal reasons we are not going to get into. But just know that the only thing related to Overwatch I have is just the Rule 34 stuff. Because I appreciate art, and that's what I'm going to say to save my ass. But the point is that so, considering the fact that D.Va was my avatar or YouTube icon for the longest time, I figured I would get a new one. And at the time, I was obsessed with Fallout and the Railroad. So I figured what better way to get, and since the Railroad is my favorite faction, I figured how about I just make it the Railroad icon. That's it. That's the only reason why. I'm not claiming they're the best faction overall. I just like them. In terms of like morally good and long term for the Commonwealth, the morally good, not the evil stuff. I feel like I have to specify this every fucking time because I get taken out of context or my words get twisted. The Minutemen overall, because they care about synths, humans, and all of that stuff, not just synths like the Railroad. But morally bad and like long term wise is either Brotherhood or the Institute. But just because I like the Railroad does not mean that they're the overall best faction. I just like them. And I don't know what this person's trying to get at. I don't know if they're trying to say that the Railroad is the worst faction. And I don't doubt that for a moment. The point I'm trying to make is just that I like the Railroad. And this icon, my YouTube logo, has nothing to do with the fact that I just think that they're the best. I just like the Railroad. Or even then, their icon is pretty cool. It's like a little lantern and shit. That shit is awesome. But it's the fact that this person, out of fucking nowhere, just starts commenting about how much of a horrible faction the Railroad is. It's just so funny to me. Because, first of all, this person started off with like an essay's worth of like a message of a rant with no grammar whatsoever. So I could not understand a fucking word they were saying. But I can summarize it as Railroad bad, Brotherhood good. And again, the person, and I'm not gonna give their name because they are all over like my previous two like Fallout 4 vids, it's the same goddamn thing as Railroad bad, Brotherhood good. What the fuck is this person doing? I don't know why they're wasting their time commenting it, but I love it. It's so fucking funny to just see someone out there is just like, this person likes the Railroad. I must tell them they suck. I know. I get it. No one likes the Railroad. That's not the point of me making these videos. I may have to change my icon though. After a while that whole comment's just gonna get annoying. Anyways, I'm gonna end this episode here. Like, subscribe, comment, all that. I don't know. Hopefully the person that making this video is about just comments that it's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best thing ever. We're gonna be going full circle. And if they don't, hopefully they stay that way because I just don't give a fuck. Anyways, out.